What's up, guys? Man, I tell you, I can't speak sometimes. Guys, it's Rick in here with Flip with Rick, and it's Friday evening, and it's dad time. So, you guys know I do Thursday nights with Zach. We have a lot of fun with it, and I like to get on here and give you some different perspectives. So, I know everybody loves Zach on here. You should. He's my son, and it's dad time tonight. So, we're talking about wholesaling. So wholesaling exposed. Actually, the idea is to teach tonight. It really is to teach, and it's all going to be positive. And I love this business. I truly, wholesaling has done things in my life. Um, I can't even begin to tell you like what it's done for my life. It has basically saved me. I tried everything doing it wrong. And so today we're going to talk about pretty much everything wholesaling. I'm going to peel back 20 years of what I see in wholesaling. I'm going to show you from your side, and I'm also going to show you from the side of the education, which is important. I think in 20 years, I've deserved, shoot, I've been doing this long enough. You should hear what I have to say. So remember, I want wholesaling to be around forever. I think it is the greatest weapon to create freedom in your life. And that's what we're here to talk about. So I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion because I got a lot of people say, hey, Rick, what's your opinion on it? Hey, I'm here to give it to you. And remember, it's from a helpful point. I have nothing negative to say. If you're here for like a negative comment, you're in the wrong place. But I believe change is coming. And I believe me and Zach are the voice for change. So as you guys come on in, if you can tell me what market you're in, I'm going to go on probably about 30 minutes, and I'm going to like give you my explanation of everything wholesaling, everything. And then what we'll do is we'll do a Q&A. So I'll be on for 2 hours. So as you know, me and Zach do a ton of live. I believe we do 8 hours a week. Why do we do lives? Because it's authentic. There's nothing better than a live broadcast because it's unfiltered. It's how the person is. There is no teleprompter in front of me. There's just a screen so I can read your comments. And I don't edit these. So like you get it live the way it is. That's why I like it. So today is Saturday. It's 5:03 p.m. And what I like about doing the live thing is when you make a comment, I can put it on there and we can have a lot of fun. And the whole point of me and Zach's mission is to involve everybody, engage everybody, and leave nobody out. I don't care if you're super rich or you're dead broke. I don't care if you're old, you're young. Honestly, I'm here to help the masses. And I'm going to explain why. But before we get started, you guys know exactly where we're going with this. You got to get a certain energy level going up on this. And nobody brings it better than my boy here. Guys, get jacked up, get dancing around. And then I promise you, we're going to dive into wholesaling. And pour your questions in. I'm going to answer as many as I humanly can by 7 p.m. And we're going to have a lot of fun. You guys are going to get to know me a little bit better. If you haven't known me, my name is Rick Ginn. My son, Zach Ginn. I taught him how to wholesale while he was in high school to make 100 grand. And I'm here to tell you, it is super simple. There are no secrets in this business. Anybody tells you the secret, beware. So before we get started, it takes an energy level. You got to have excitement. Us wholesalers are such a unique breed. It takes special energy. So let's jump into it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, again, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up. Get up.
Guys, I think I was muted maybe before. So let me know that you guys can hear me. And somebody give me a mic check, make sure, because I rambled on once before and they didn't hear me. So what's up, Alex? What's up, Frederick? Somebody just give me a positive. Oh, I see my problem. Hold on, guys. I have a technical difficulty. And my background screen got. So, guys, make sure you can hear me. I'm just going to fix a little computer glitch here. I am not the technical guy, so as you can see behind me, I don't need screens. But tell me where you guys are from, and I will wait for that to fire up, and we will go from there. So today we're talking about everything wholesaling. It's titled Exposed because I want to talk about a lot of stuff today. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it, and I promise you it will enlighten you. So bear with me. That's the beauty of live stuff. Sorry about that, guys. So I got Texas in the house. I've got Maryland. Let's see. Okay, guys, awesome. So we are here. So I tell you, everybody's looking for some sort of reaction out of me. I've been doing this business 20 years. I absolutely love it. Okay. The fact that my son does it with me makes it even more special for me. So if you have the opportunity to work with a family member and get them excited about wholesaling, this is going to be a great show for you. So I'm actually thinking about doing an entire show on how to work with family and wholesaling because there is good and bad with it. So it takes special people to do what we do. So let's jump into it. I'm going to do about 30 minutes of comments and then put your questions in there and I will answer them as many as there are in order. And I'm going to go for 2 hours. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So let me jump into it. Sorry about my technical difficulty. That's ridiculous. But guys, that's the beauty of a live. You will never see that when somebody has what they call a recorded, a premiere. There's a lot of controversy on people like, well, you know, the chat's live. Listen, I don't care. I just like live because it makes it authentic. So when you see what happened to me, you know it's real. So I don't have a big production crew behind me because I spend all my time wholesaling. So let's start out with the reality of wholesaling. So the truth of the matter is we wholesalers are extremely unique people. Like, honestly, if you try to explain to someone what we do, they just look at you like, are you absolutely nuts? You're right. We go completely against the grain. Like, most people think we're absolutely nuts. I think less than 3% of society would even try what we do because we don't want to go on vacation. We want to be on vacation every day. And I know wholesaling works. I've proven it over the last 20 years, and I've proven it with a 17-year-old, my son. So I'm here to share you. The reality of wholesaling is because we're all so unique. We're entrepreneurs. We're kind of cowboys, cowgirls that beat to our own drum. And that's one of our problems. Like, it's crazy because we're so like wickedly hyper like workers and we want to get to the solution of the problem. And we all work kind of independently that we don't work well together as wholesalers. It's the truth. You guys put in the comments, tell me how many wholesalers do you actually work on deals with? Now, I know I work with people. You guys know me and Zach offer the JV program. By the way, I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that do that. So you basically submit a deal. If the deal passes the snuff test, meaning it's like a real wholesale deal, we'll actually partner up with you. We coach you through it and you do a lot of the work. The key is you get to learn and earn. You can earn up half the profit on the deal, but you actually have to do work. We're not a disposition company. We never wanted to be. We're really good at it. And I have a staff that works that. But I'm looking for the people that really want to hustle and make it win. So we're unique as wholesalers. So, well, Rick, why are you telling me this? The problem with it is we have bad apples in wholesaling. Like, so it's not unique to our business. We have bad teachers. You have bad cops. You have bad janitors. Does our business attract more? That's up to debate. I don't think so. But I can't sit here and police every bad apple. Okay. Like, if you have bad intentions, there's nothing I can say or do, or really any coach or any guru that's going to fix it. You're probably just going to use it as a mass weapon and make it even worse. That's just my opinion on it. So the problem is we have a lot of people doing a lot of different things, which has led to this really ugly word we're all talking about right now, because we're all so unique and we're not really, we're kind of cowboys in how we operate. We're talking about regulation of wholesaling. Now, I haven't gone on the record about any of this. Here's the reason why, okay? I don't spend time chasing around laws that honestly I have no power to affect. The reality is we have 50 states. There's only 2 states it's technically illegal to wholesale. And I know there's some legislation passed on some cities and stuff like that. But here's what I do, guys, just so you know. I don't spend energy chasing around 1 or 2 states. I stay educated on it, but I'm not going to sit here and do content on it all day because number one, it's boring. And number two, I'm not really teaching you anything by doing that. And number three, we start this fear thing going. So we did a live last night and someone goes, I think it's illegal to wholesale in Washington. No, it's not. It's not. We have to be more responsible how we deliver information. So I'm going to give you a couple tips on to do it. I hate regulations. The last thing I want is anybody telling me what to do. We've all seen how that works out. Okay. Like, you have to question everything. So I don't want any regulation wholesaling. Is it coming? Yeah, it's coming. Like, I'm not stupid about it. I'm not hiding under a rock. But just to give you a 20-year vision of this, I've been told since 2002 they're going to outlaw wholesaling. So I want you to put that in perspective. 20 years later, 2 states have made it basically illegal. The really good thing is because we're unique and we operate differently and we're always way ahead of big brother government, is we always find a solution for it. So I'm not even worried. Listen, the reality is if they want to manage it through NAR and each state for licensing, here's the deal. If you have to do it in your state, just get the license and move on. Any other distraction is literally a waste of your time. It takes a lot of money and a lot of energy and lobbying. It takes 10, 20, 30 years of efforts. Guys, this isn't going to be fixed overnight with any type of organization. Do I support an organization that helps it out? Yeah, but I got to see the whole thing. Don't sit here and say, hey, we're starting something. What do you think of it? Give me the whole package. I mean, everything, head to toe, how you're going to spend the money, what you're going to do, how much you're going to do on lobbying, how much we're going to spend on lawyers, and then I will tell you my thoughts on it. It's impossible to pass judgment on something that's in the beginning stages. It's like saying, hey, do you want to buy a business? I have a website. I've set up an entity, but I have no idea. I haven't collected any dime, but will you invest in my business? No, I'm not. Like, end of story. So if they put something together and it's got teeth in it, the only thing I ever ask when it comes to regulation is, the problem is, if the solution to most of this is just get your real estate license, which I strongly advise against it unless you want to be a real estate agent. If you have to do it, just spend the money and move on with your life. Like, do not spend countless hours trying to figure out how to manage regulation, because there's a lot of people out there who just constantly keep feeding. They're so worried about it. Well, that's great. Opening up an organization, you want to draw some light to it, great. But honestly, I don't think it's going to make that big of a dent. I think when they pass these laws and stuff, there's some bad apples and they don't look at everything on a broad stroke. You can look at the government from like a complete, like whenever they pass these laws, and I'm not just talking about real estate. You guys know how this works. So the last thing I need is another, it's bad enough I got to deal with a state licensing and then possibly NAR. And then someone's telling me maybe we got to throw in another organization. We're going to tell you how to do it. Listen, finish it, get it all set, get it going, and lay out the plan and have a detailed plan and make sure it is not just a bunch of influencers, educators. Get outside people on the board, get lawyers, get CPAs, get political people that can help, because guys, us wholesalers, we think we can run everybody over. And the reality is when you start talking about passing laws and stuff like that, we need help. Like, because we are vilified in this industry and I hate it, but there's a few bad apples, but don't let that ruin your light. I'm telling you, like, if you have ethics, you care about people, you want to help people out, wholesaling is for you. So don't let these laws discourage you. Don't let all this. I don't like how the fear is starting to come in, because every comment I get is this illegal? Is that illegal? You guys, do not spend your energy on finding out, like spending time in this drama. So here's the reality: is regulation, it's really good for influencers content. You're not going to hear it from me, because honestly, I only focus on the things I can control. Okay. Do you think an organization can control wholesaling to get a voice at the table with people in legislation? I don't know. I that's a tough battle. I don't know how you're ever going to do that. And you know what? So here's the reality of it: is you got to start with you. Do not depend on someone else to save you from wholesaling. What do I mean by this? If you're waiting for an organization to go out and fight the fight for you, you're already behind the eight ball. So let me tell you what I do. I've been doing this 20 years, and I got Zach actively involved in this. We meet with our congressmen or women. They're men in my ear. I'm in Florida, and we meet with them at least twice a year. The really cool thing is I can walk from my office like to their office. So we're very familiar with them, and we keep our ears leaned in on what's going on specific with real estate and wholesaling. Why? Because I want to know before it comes down the pipeline. So there's no reason you can't do the same. Do not, guys, we have learned, depending on an organization or an outside party or government to help bail us out, it's suicide. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you've got to be responsible. Meet with your local politicians, your representatives, your congressmen or women, and talk to them. That's how you get an ear. We don't have to wait to get a giant organization to fix everything. That's like, you know how long that takes? And that's my problem. Start today. Start with you. And then if you want to share facts on a channel just like this, do it. Like, I would love to get it. But please don't tell me someone's talking about banning wholesaling in a certain state, and we don't have any type of bill. We don't know who's sponsoring it. See, because that's how you just cut to the chase. Tell me exactly. Bills do not magically appear. They become sponsored. They get pushed through. Yes, lobbyists either fight for them or they fight against them. And then that's where you can find out what's going on. So I got to rely on you guys. Do not rely on third parties. Do not rely on a guru. Do not rely on a website. Go get the facts in your state. And the more we can get awareness of what's going on, the more we can effectively communicate on it. So that's all I'm going to say on like regulation. 2 states, guys, focus on the stuff you can control. Focus on getting deals. I am not going to sit here and spend 20, 30 minutes talking about regulation. I'm already way over what I planned on doing on it. I guess it makes good content for some. I guess when you don't have enough stuff to talk about, it's just constant update. Yes, you need to know about it, but honestly, do not spend hours, if not weeks, if not years studying regulation. So let's move forward from this. Okay. The future of wholesaling, I'm telling you, it's never been brighter than it is today. So if you're worried about it, people got you freaked out, it's going to be banned, all that. First of all, whoever's telling you it, make sure they're not selling you a product that cures it. Okay. We all know how that works out. So if they have a fix to fix this problem, then they have to keep focusing on the fear light to get their product pushed out there. Not everybody does it, but I'm just saying, like, guys, look, it's very easy to figure stuff out. So I'm here to tell you, wholesaling is never been brighter than it is today. Like, there's more eyes on wholesaling than ever. Yeah, a little bit of regulation, but the really cool part is I think it's recognized as a valuable trade in what we do. Now, not everybody agrees with what we do, and I'm fine with that. But think about this. There are more homes than ever right now in the United States. It's like a crazy, crazy pace. Real estate values are higher than they've ever been. And here's the part you've got to understand. Wholesaling is a proven business model. It works. There's no doubt about it. Nobody ever questions that. The question is how we do it. So as the population grows, as real estate keeps exploding, more permits, more homes are being built, more apartment buildings, more commercial. It just means more opportunity for you. So if anyone's telling you, oh, this business is going to be killed, run. I'm telling you, there's never a better time right now to get into it. If you guys want to learn how to do wholesaling, me and Zach teach it for free. It's freewholesaling.com. And guys, go ahead and get started. You are in a time of life. It's never been easier to learn how to do a subject matter than it is right now. And I'm telling you, the smart ones take advantage of it. The other ones kind of like try to figure it out. It's completely up to you. Never in life has there been a better time to get into wholesaling. And I'm telling you, I get like goosebumps even talking about it. If you guys can't tell this, the one thing is I try to be as authentic as I can. Authentic just means be yourself. Like if you meet Rick or Zach off camera, this is who we are. I love wholesaling. I did this 20 years. I meet people all the time like, oh, I can't wait to get out of wholesaling. I just kind of look at them like, what are you like? This is the greatest gig of all. So, guys, you've never had a better time to get into wholesaling. Like jump in, let's get going. So let's talk about the fun stuff. Wholesale education. Good news, bad news on this one, okay? There's never been a better time to learn from as many people as you want on earth. You have options, okay? I want you to understand you guys have the power to make the decision. No one tells you who to learn with. Number one, find somebody you connect with and is proven in wholesaling, okay? My recommendation is just make sure someone's been in business at least 4 or 5 years minimum. You know why? Because anybody can look like a hero in 1 or 2 years. The fact is, from 2013, we've created more wholesale coaches, gurus than in any time in history. And so like, why is that? And part of it is, the market's been so good. Okay, I'll give credit to that. The downside is these people aren't overly seasoned in how markets go up and down. And they do, guys. I've been through wild roller coasters in real estate. As long as you do wholesaling, it's hard to get hurt in this business. It's once you go outside of it. So let's talk about this. There's a lot of educators out there. And as I said, remember we talked about bad apples. There's good apples, bad apples. There's the same thing in coaching. So I can't speak for every coach out there. The reality is I am friends with most of the coaches out there because I've been in this business 20 years. I've hired a lot of coaches. Okay. Keep in mind, that was back in 2002 to 2004 is when I hired most of the coaches. Okay. Some were good. Some were brutally terrible. Like it's like just end the program. I move on. I lost my money and move on. I don't care. I learned something from it. Every failure you learn something from. So the problem is now we have a saturated coaching market. Guys, just turn on your Facebook feeds, your YouTube, everything like that. It's unbelievable. And I guess it's good and bad. It just depends on which side of the equation. Why are there so many coaches? Well, here's the reality of there's a low cost of entry and the market emphasizes appearance over skills. I'm making general statements here, but I'm just telling you, there's a lot of people that appear like they're really successful, but most of them are just trying to get a coaching business up on the ground. So how does this happen? Well, somebody has discovered that you can really scale coaching. And I've seen this firsthand. Okay. Think about this. If I collect 5 or 10 grand and I've got 1,000 students or 5,000 students, just do the numbers. It's mind boggling. The challenge is true coaching is usually like a one-on-one style. It's very intense. And I'm going to be honest with you. I used to coach way back in the day and it is physically exhausting. It's a lot of energy. And I don't know how you can run thousands of students. So the reality is they're finding ways to do this because now there's an entire business called the coach of the coaches. Just Google it, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. Anybody that will pay a fee, they'll teach you how to be a coach. You just got a few deals on your wing and they'll show you how to push it. How do I know this? Because there's a common thread in the business. Guys, I'm not ragging. I'm telling you, I've been on both sides of the curtain. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm just telling the truth. I swear to you, I'm telling you the truth. So why is there a common thread in most of the coaches? Now, some coaches are phenomenal. Some are really bad. I can't control it. You can't control it. So you have to vote with your pocketbook and your time. I think your time's almost more valuable than your wallet. And I'm going to explain why to it. So let's talk about the commonality. Did you know that most coaching programs, they get people interested, which is great. A lot of really clever marketing. I actually laugh my butt off when I see some of these. And there's some really unique ones out there. And I love good marketing. Don't get me wrong. My problem is to figure out how to get into wholesaling, you have to book a call. Why do I have to book a call with 17 different people? Are you all going to the same seminar? I don't understand this. The problem is they're being coached by the coach, and they're teaching them this old business model that I learned back in 2002. Does it frustrate you? You have to sit on like a 20-minute call to find out like what the price of the program is. It's ridiculous. So I can go to Tony Robbins. He has programs from $1 million down to $500, and every one of them is on the website. I wish every coach would just put it on there. If you're truly good at coaching, people are going to have no problem paying the fees. So why hide it? Because it's a sales technique and it works. They're going to find out how much money you'll pay, and then they're going to adjust the price accordingly. So did you know that wholesale coaching from 2003 to today is 70% cheaper? How can that be? It's insane. It's because it's super saturated, guys. There's so many people out there chasing your dollars. And I saw the handwriting on the wall back in 2014. That's why I stopped. And that's why I run a completely different model. I am friends with most of these people. A lot of them have good product, but there's a lot of really bad ones out there. And I'm not here to call people to the plate. It just, you have to make the decision, not them. This isn't a negative talk. I'm trying to educate everybody on how wholesaling works. So keep in mind, if someone's going to coach 1,000 people, are you spending time with that person you hired? Okay. And also, you're also going to get a contract that's typically one-sided. We all learned how one-sided contracts work. A one-sided contract means it's in the coach's favor, not in your favor. Make sure you look at these contracts before you send your money in so you know what you're signing up for. Are you getting one-on-one mentoring? Are you getting 100 people on a Zoom call? I don't know. Just make sure you get the information, and because if your expectations aren't met, that's where people get upset. And like, listen, I understand coaches, they can't be accountable for everybody, but I want to show you something. And this is what really bothers me about the coaching industry as a whole. Okay. Somebody recently went on, a very legit coach. So I'm not going to say names because I don't want to draw negative attention. But he openly admitted there's only a 10% success rate in wholesale coaching. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think he was being conservative. So what that means is there's a 90% plus failure rate in wholesale coaching. Why? I don't understand this part of it. Okay. I could not sit here and teach. If I bring in 10 people and I know 9 are going to fail right off the bat, I'd lose sleep at night over that stuff. And I'm telling you, it's got to be fixed in the industry. How do you fix it? I don't know. Maybe instead of doing an organization to police wholesalers, maybe we should have an organization for coachings, and they sign an ethics agreement and best practices agreement and stop this crazy marketing. No money down, no risk. I guarantee you success. I guarantee you'll flip a house. It's impossible to do. I'm also noticing a trend. I was seeing evergreen the last 3 or 4 years. You guys know what evergreen means? It means once you buy in the program, you're in forever. But the problem is a lot of these coaching programs, they're selling now. It's public, it's not, the price isn't public record because they don't, some sell for more than others, but I've watched 3 of them recently sell. The entire team's flipped over. I've watched their ratings plummet. The team's changed, philosophies changed. I get it. Businesses are sold. But what do I do if I'm like an evergreen customer? Like I bought into this family and now it's completely changed. Also, I'm seeing lifetime coaching. Guys, I learned a long time ago, there's no such thing as lifetime anything. It's a promise that cannot be fulfilled. It's a risky statement to make. That's great, but that means you're going to, so is that person going to coach you for the next 50 years? It doesn't even make sense. So I just think we're pushing the envelope. We're trying to meet with people secretly to find out what the best price is. If we just be more transparent in the education business, it would be a lot better. I will do anything to try to fix the education business, but here's the problem. The methods they're using today were the same ones that sucked me in 2002. Dude, the world's changed. I'm sorry, guys. This model, there's a reason it's saturated. There's a reason there's coaches. And then think about this. It's 70% cheaper. Guys, it's eventually going to be free anyways. The age of the internet, the way information trades, I refuse to sit here and follow a tired coaching model. It doesn't work. Like I remember I was supposed to say, oh, the internet's the fad, or cell phones, you're never going to use them. I could go on and on with this. I'm telling you, I saw this in 2014 and I've been searching for a way to change it. And when I took time with my son and we really dove in the wholesaling business, I said, I want to make a legacy. I want to make a change and impact as many people. So people like, why don't you coach, Rick? I'm telling you, I cannot deal with a 90% like failure rate. Let's at least get it down to 50. Like if we could just get it down to 50, I would be like really, really happy. I think they need to get rid of any type of payment plans in coaching. You know how I feel. Wholesaling to me is a really basic skill. It's a basic skill and it's so simple that it's hard for a coach to make money off simple instructions. So why not complicate it? So it just, it's time for a change, guys. It's time for change. This is the time for change. You can't keep doing stuff the same old way. Let me give you an example. My parents taught me to go to school, be a good student. I was a terrible student. I'm admitted in ADHD. I was told it was going to make me a terrible employee and I would never amount to anything. And actually, it's done the opposite. So I went out. I still went to college. It was brutal for me. I learned differently and I know it. So when I was 33, I gave up on that plan. You know why? It just wasn't working. And I want you to understand when something doesn't work, that's like a 75 to 100-year-old plan and it's completely broken. I'll tell you right now, it's completely broken. So why do you think the wholesaling education thing's not broken? We can't keep doing this pay for play. Like you give me 5,000, 10,000, and I'll show you the secrets to wholesaling. Oh, and by the way, you got to go on a phone call. We're going to keep it super private. And we're going to offer you like a million options. And then we're going to call you 10 times if you say no. Like who's like this? You guys remember the limited time offer? Like hurry up, seats are very short and available. I'm like, I just get tired of it. Like it's got to go away. We are in a society where being authentic and transparent actually gets you more business. But I'm going to let you guys vote on how you spend your money. So let's go to the age old quote I hear from every guru and everybody in the business. And keep in mind, me and Zach have been labeled the anti-guru. I don't care. I get it. Everybody needs a villain. Ha, ha, ha. So rag on the guys that do it for free. I don't care. I'm not listening to them. They do not run my show. I promise you at the end of the day, they will pay attention to me. And more importantly, they're going to pay attention to you. So, well, Rick, it never works unless you got skin in the game. This one upsets me because I tell you, we have over 500 testimonials. And by the way, I never ask anyone for a testimonial. Everything's organic. So if I go on a typical coach's website, I'll see 8 or 10 testimonials. They're only positive, but they admit there's a 90% failure ratio. Where's the negative ones? Okay, I get it. We just cherry pick through it. I guess I'd do the same if I was a coach too. The problem is so if I buy an Amazon product, if it's got a 5-star rating, the best, I prefer to find someone with 4.5 stars because nobody's perfect. There's no way every teacher is perfect and they made everybody happy. It's physically impossible. So skin in the game. I can tell you this. I've helped out more people through these live streams, doing one-on-one, teaching them at freewholesaling.com. And then anybody, it's unbelievable. So the skin in the game, the only reason I get that is because it's a lever to defend what you can't give stuff away from free. It won't work. I've had another big guru go on a stream and just say, what we're doing it's just wrong. Well, how is giving free information wrong? The reality is it's threatening your business model. And I don't care. I'm not looking for your approval. You're the least likely person to approve what I'm doing. But I see the bigger picture. You keep following tired old training models and eventually you are going to find yourself stuck. So, guys, if me and Zach did coaching, I could make a fortune. So why is Rick and Zach passing up coaching? Number one, I don't trade my time for money. So all these coaches say, well, you never trade your time for money. Well, they sit behind a desk and do Zooms all day. You are doing exactly what you preach against. So you don't really have freedom when it comes to that. Number two, if you have a 90% failure ratio, fix it. It's disgusting. I hate that stuff, man. Like, let's help people out. Well, Rick, if they pay me, it's not my problem. It is your problem. It's if you know there's a problem, it's your responsibility to try to fix it, or at least try to get that number down, like however it's going to be. So we're spending time trying to regulate wholesalers, and maybe we need to look at the whole entire coaching industry. Anybody who charges for coaching, there should be like a standard practice. Why not have like a 90-day refund policy? Oh, we give a 30-day money back refund policy. Well, that's great, but the credit card company gives you that anyway, so you're not really giving anything extra. So the whole skin in the game is just a cop out, and it's a way that you can sort people through who want to pay to get to the front of the line, and I'm all for that. But I have committed to a program where to create a legacy and help as many people as possible. This is the way, guys. Attention is what works. And the more people we get in this group, the more attention we get, the more we can affect change in the wholesaling community. I've bypassed the coaching model because it's terribly inefficient, and I refuse to follow what worked 20 years ago. And I'm telling you, when this is all said and done, you're going to look back at me and Zach and go, my God, they were right. So here's what I've been told since I've been on this movement. You ready for this? Oh, hold on. Let me move it down here. Here's what I've been told. You're going to fail miserably in what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, we're failing. It's terribly failing. We're on here 4 times a week. Number two, you are creating enemies. I'm not creating enemies. I don't use anybody's name here. If you have a good ethical business, then you're fine. Like, don't worry about it. The only ones that worry are the ones who shoot videos and worry about what we're doing. Like, listen, if you're happy with what you're doing and you want to follow that tired old business model, go for it. I'm not your dad. I'm Zach's dad. I'm not your dad. So just like, I do not need a coach's or guru's endorsement on what I'm doing. Honestly, you're the least person I want to satisfy. I know you're against me. I know if me and Zach are successful in what we do, it ruins your business model. It's just the truth. It's the truth, guys. So things change. You guys use Google. Do you pay for it? No. Use YouTube. You don't pay for it. Like, look around what's going on in society. Okay. And the people that are leading, that are giving good content, helping as many people out as possible. But I've been told I'm the enemy. I've been told we won't open doors for you. That's fine, guys. Don't open the door for me. I'm trying to close that door and run from 2002, 2003. It was a different world back then. And there's so much information. That leads me to the next ones. I'm almost done, guys. I'll get to your questions. There's no secrets in wholesaling. Anybody tells you the secret, run. It's too simple. The problem is, if it's too simple, it's hard to sell a coaching program on it. So let's wrap a bunch of layers on it. Let's do like some interview calls to make it special to be applied. The reality is, in most coaching programs, I'm not even going to test this out. It'd be too easy to do. Most coaching programs, if you pay, you play. End of story. That's why it's a 90% failure ratio. There's no like, if somebody's working 90 hours a week and they don't have any money, they'll put them on a payment plan. Like, I just don't believe in that stuff. Like, I'd rather someone go get some more money, come back, get in a better situation, and then see if you can help them out with it. So my mission is simple here in Wholesaling with me and Zach. We want to help as many people out as possible without any barriers to entry, and just be as transparent and authentic as possible. I don't run the biggest wholesaling business, but you know what? Remember what my why is: to have freedom with my family and friends and be financially free to do whatever I want in life. Okay? Just because I do it different does not make me the enemy. It just means I'm doing something different. And either you need to pay attention or you need to just move on and just do it your way. I don't care. I'm not calling anyone to the plate. I really don't care. I'm not a big fan of doing these giant masterminds, these puff up. Like, I just want to deliver content. Like, we have got to get rid of all the fluff. Like these masterminds where you go on fancy boat rides, you smoke cigars, because that's not going to help you flip any houses. I'm sorry. I like to get to know people. Like, don't get me wrong. I love breaking bread with people and getting to know them, but there's no more secrets in wholesaling. That's the big secret, guys. There is no secrets. The truth is, it's hard to make big money when you're just giving basic instructions. I'm giving you basic instructions. The instructions I give you will make you $100,000 in wholesaling. The fact that I give it away for free at freewholesaling.com and I make it 100% transparent bothers people. So at the end of the day, the way me and Zach operate, we're completely unique. Let me give you the truth on wholesaling here. And we're going to go into the questions. Is me and Zach are the only ones driving this business model. And you got to start to wonder, why are they doing it? I've already told you, I'm looking to make a legacy, man. Like, I make plenty of money. I looked at coaching. I could make millions on top of millions with coaching. Why is he bypassing it? Because I think that is the small money to take, and to create the most impact and help the most people is go to the masses and help out as many people as you humanly possibly can. So can I get in a car and do it? No. I get on the internet and I go, and we run hard and we do stuff live. We don't use teleprompters, and we have a lot of fun with what we're doing. You got to have fun doing this business. And the fact that we're a family business and we have a good time doing it. My son's only 22 and he's only been in the business 5 years. He's gone so much further than I ever did. I didn't start till I was 33, and it was amazing. So we're brutally authentic. And here's the difference: because I don't take those coaching dollars, I don't conform to the coaching community. It doesn't mean I hate coaches. It's the opposite. I just want to inspire change. If I could get other people to even make the movement we're doing, we could do so much more. We got to get rid of this 90% failure rate. Okay. One of the reasons why we're being regulated in this business is because we've sold the idea that, pay me X amount of dollars and I'll show you how to flip houses on the beach with no risk, no money of your own, and you can sit in your underwear. We got to stop this. Like, we've created this monster. We all have, mostly the coaching industry, but nobody wants to make them accountable for what they're doing. Instead, we're going to put an organization together to monitor the wholesalers. And that's where me and Zach say, absolutely no way. Listen, I'll save judgment until the whole thing's done. Like, you can't judge a book just when it's just being put together. So it's very new. So when it's all said and done, you want my opinion, put it all out there. I'll be happy to lay it out there. Authenticity, being authentic, being transparent is the new currency. And I'm bringing it to wholesaling because it is gone. It's been dead for a long time and I'm sick of it. Okay. I want to have fun with what I'm doing. I've helped out so many people on here. It gives me such a good feeling. And my flipping business is through the roof. We do amazing and we love it. We share the content with you and we have a lot of fun with it. I don't show you deals that I don't do. And my favorite thing is I want to do a deal in every state, and I want to do it with people on this stream and have a lot of fun. I don't know if any other gurus sit there and just split deals without a coaching fee. So there's no coaching fee. The reality of how we do this is I can tell you the truth. I'm how do I say it? Like your dad. Okay. Like Zach. Sometimes you just got to tell your kids the truth, no matter how painful it is. When you take coaching dollars, a lot of times we're coddled and we're like, you can do this. And sometimes you just got to hit people the truth. When you guys get on lives, I'm sometimes hard on you. I just tell you how it is. If you're saying you're struggling with marketing, but you can't tell me your marketing activity for the month, I'm going to call you out on it. And I can do the truth because I'm unfiltered. And that's the beauty of working with me. Listen, at the end of the day, the truth will always win. And that's the reason we're going with that. I know everybody in the business, and I think everybody brings a unique perspective. Just because we have a different way of doing it does not make me the enemy, the guy that won't, you don't want to open the door for me? That's fine. Don't open the door. I don't want your door. I'm okay with it. I'm going in a different door. And I want to bring everybody watching this stream with me, because at the end of the day, me and Zach are only listening to you It's your time you're voting with. It's obviously your pocketbook in the long run. Don't worry, I'm not getting in your pocket. And any type of person that goes against me, I don't care, because I'm not looking for another coach or a guru to endorse me. If they're smart, they would work with us. So we all kind of learned how debates and everything works is we bring the truth to what we do. So I love having an open discussion with people, but like, if you guys want to like talk to me, anybody wants to talk to one-on-one, you got to like bring the truth. I can't hide behind these masks. I don't understand it. I hate it. I love wholesaling. I think everybody that is in the wholesaling community is an amazing person for the most part. I love most of the coaches out there. There's good and bad ones, but you, the listener, you, the viewer, you vote with your time, which I really appreciate the time you spend with me, Zach. And then number two, you're going to vote with your pocketbook. In the long run, guess what? We're going to see which wholesaling truth is exposed in the end. Pay for play, free content. Where does it lie in the middle? I don't know, but I think you guys are smart enough to figure it out. When I did handwritten postcard when I first started, I had multiple gurus told me it's a terrible idea. I'm going to get killed, only to find out years later they gave it to every one of their coaching students, and I'm sure they profited off somehow, and I just moved on with my life. Okay. I did the rapid offer system. I created it for my company, had amazing results. I was told to do a high ticket coaching program, and I just said, I'm sick of this stuff. So I just make it free and available to everybody. I just found a good partner that would print them, and they do it on their own. I just help coach them on the system and instructions on it. And it's been amazing. Any of you guys got started early with that, you hit it out of the park, and you guys know it. And we still use it to this day, and we're constantly updating it and doing it. So I go to a beat of a different drum. And if you want to follow me and Zach, hop along. Your time is the most precious commodity you can give us, and I really appreciate it. So let me get through the couple hundred comments we have here, and we'll get through it. So here's the key, guys. Please keep your comments positive. The idea is to have everybody learn something. This is not a soapbox. I'm just telling you my opinion of where we are in wholesaling right now. And I love this business. I have more of a buy-in in this business, I think, than anybody. I just, that's what I believe in my heart, and that's why I wear it on my sleeve. Okay. I love people. I love being transparent. I love being authentic. I cannot stand fake. I can't deal with it. And like, this business is simple, but it's hard. And that's the truth. You got to get through some tough love to get into this business. And I think a lot of coaches overlook that part of it. So let's see here. So you guys can work amongst everybody in the comments. Let me put up a couple things here. Oh, and of course, the last one. We, meaning me and Zach, we only listen to you guys. You make the difference. I'm not the judge and the jury when this is all said and done. So how can you make a difference? Do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this feed with as many people as you think would connect with them. I'm only looking for people. Listen, if you connect with me and Zach, then great. Got 25 years total experience. You got 22-year-old and you got a 52-year-old. So we have a 30 years apart. And there's some stuff we're very different on it, which makes us really unique. Zach is excellent at the operations. He pushes the boundaries. And then I understand anything has to do with real estate, from creative financing to short sell flips to any type of agreements. There's nothing I haven't seen in this business. So guys, you, at the end of the day, you make the difference, and don't ever forget that. And we appreciate you for it. So if you guys are new to the channel, you can go to freewholesaling.com. It's a completely free course. You put in no credit card, you put in nothing. I teach you head to toe how to get started in wholesaling. I taught a 17-year-old how to make 6 figures while in high school, while he was wrestling, and I made it super simple. That's why I know it works. It works 100%. So it's up to you. If you, I recommend taking my course because I know it's the most seasoned one out there. And we do live one-on-ones with you. We usually do Wednesday and Thursday. Zach goes live Tuesday through Thursday. I go on Friday, and we like to have a lot of fun with what we do. So freewholesaling.com. If you guys want to submit a deal and partner up with us, I will find the link somewhere in here. Where is it? You can JV with us. We have quite a few deals going on with it. We got some really exciting stuff, and I want to work with everybody, man. So like, who else like does a deal? I don't charge you anything, but if you use my freewholesaling.com, that's how you guys are going to find the deals. So I need you to do that part. So when you get the deal and you get under contract, we can work with you. Then you get some one-on-one time with me and my staff, and it's a lot of fun. And we got a lot of cool gifts for you if we partner up with you, and we'll bring you on and we'll walk through the deal so everybody can learn from it. So that being said, I think we got everything on there. Let's see what else. Everybody asked, you can do the lists. They work well. And guys, so you know, another unique thing about me and Zach is I'm not in the software business. So I was in the software business once and I got killed. Like, it's just hard. Like, I'm not a coder. I hate that stuff. I like to talk to people, connect with them, and talk about wholesaling, obviously. So we teach batch leads and we teach prop stream. Like, end of story. We're the only ones that do it because we're new. I don't care what you use. Whichever one that you feel is most productive for use, they both, one does this, one does that. I suggest you get a trial version of them, try them out, and see which one fits for you. Why does that make us unique? Because I need to keep companies bringing the best product to market that we use in our business. By the way, we use both because I don't put all my eggs ever in one basket. If you're just starting out, you don't even need it to start out. I'm just going to disclose the truth. But if you're going to do it, I would just pick one. So let's jump in. And so Jeff says he works with a few wholesalers in Northern California. That's awesome. Olivia says, I've noticed a lot of fear going on in this business. So yeah, so fear is like self-perpetuated. Most likely fear is usually, I know there's a ton of acronyms out. I can't think of them offhand, but like most of the time, the stuff doesn't come to fruition. Is there change coming to business? Absolutely, but you don't have to fear it, guys. We don't need like scary videos with thumbnails. Is wholesaling going to be illegal? I'm tired of it. We got to stop that stuff. We're better than that. Albert says, do you trust the people behind the new organization? Honestly, Albert, to be fair about it, like, you've got to look at everything. You got to look at the entire organization. So it's not fair for me to judge something that hasn't come out. Obviously, they got a lot of holes they got to fill, and they'll figure it out, but that's not my business. Honestly, if somebody wants to do it, that's a lot of work. And honestly, if they're going to do the work for free, God bless. I just don't, at the end of the day, you've got to be responsible for you. I would never depend on another organization to fill me in and fight a fight for me. Like, I just wouldn't do it. So honestly, more power. I hope they're highly successful in what they do, but I don't have an opinion on it because I don't think they've even raised like $1. So who cares? Olivia says, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you being on here. Thank you so much. Let's see. Somebody asked here, how does the inherited list do? I'll tell you, the inherited list is typically, it's hard. I'm going to be honest with you. It's very slim. An inherited list is a late probate list at the end when it changes hands. So I prefer you go after probates over the inherited list because this list is bought by everybody. And it's a very low success rate, and they sell the heck out of these lists. So, so New Prop asked, how do you ask a question on the live stream? You just did. So Michelle says, I was a seminar junkie and never did a deal, waste of time and money. So back, let's talk about the old days. The old days, we used to actually have to go to a hotel room, let somebody pitch us, do this like great dance. Then we'd sit down with an interview after it, or you'd run to the back of the room. You guys remember those days? Go to the back of the room and, I need action takers or money makers. And shoot, I used to love that stuff. But the reality is you still got to get instructions and you still got to go get momentum. But there's still some good seminars out there. I love being in a room of like-minded people though. Like that will never be replaced. So I'm not like, so I see some people putting comments about like certain, like, I don't care. Like, guys, remember, I am not the wholesale police. Like, you can't be. If what I say resonates and you like it, then work with us, have fun with us, learn from us. It's not going to cost you anything. If you want to use somebody to paid program, do it. I'm not going to go around and endorse paid programs. I've already told you what I think is going to go on in the future. And it's me is like, why do I have to go to a phone call to find out the price of your organization? Like, what are you going to like? Some coach of the coaches is telling them, if you get salespeople and you talk them into it, just so you know, when they're talking to you on the phone, that person on the other end is usually getting a big fat commission. So I'm just like, I rather save the resources, and not every coach does it that way, but like, why do we have to talk people into coaching? Like, honestly, come back to me when you're eager and you're ready to go and you got funds available, right? I'm not going to sit here talking about a payment plan or like, hey, I'll give you a discount or I'll do this. To me, it's unethical to do it that way. But by the way, I don't call, I don't sit there. I get feedback from all our listeners. So, okay, let's keep going here. So Michelle says, absolutely, you can do anything on YouTube. I learned something on YouTube the other day that it was like a wiring diagram. I had to fix something like in a pinch, and it actually helped. So Brandon says he's been pitched lifetime coaching before, and I bust out laughing. You understand lifetime, like that's an aggressive word. Like that's lifetime. So what, when you're 80 years old, you're going to coach me? So what happens when you sell the company? Because they all eventually get sold. Like a good coaching company gets sold. And then you got new owners, you got new visions. I remember of a specific wholesaling company that was like, they were it. And now they're gone. And they had an evergreen product. They're still around. Don't get me wrong, but they're not really, they're just, the energy's not there anymore. So like, what do we do with the thousands of customers that signed up under that? And that's my problem with it. So thank you, Michelle. We appreciate it. So some of you guys are watching this and you're like, oh, Rick, there's guru ads running. I don't control that. That's up to like YouTube. So it is what it is. So you guys know, I'm pretty sure we are the only people in the wholesale education space. We run zero ads, zero. Everybody that's on our channel is 100% organic. And if you can't give me a thumbs up for that, then you got to get off this stream right now. Everybody smash that like button because it really helps push the video out so more people can jump on this. People are struggling like, how are you guys growing? Oh, you're just giving away everything free. It's like, that's right. I'm committed. I've been doing this 20 years. How long you been doing it? I'm not going anywhere. I've been around. I've watched everybody from 2013. It's a complete pitch fest. And when you start having coach of the coaches, you guys better start watching out. It just seems like anybody that will pay will be taught coaching. And the problem is you have to actually learn the business, learn the substance, learn how to get through all types of deals to teach it. You can't just learn the marketing part of coaching. And that's what's being taught. That's why you have such a saturation in coaching. It's easier to flip students than it is houses. It's just the truth. If you had to scale between and pick between the two, coaching would be it. I just chose to go a different route because I think all this stuff is going to get snuffed out in the end, and those who provide the most value and the most help will always win. So that's a funny one. Felix says he's starting driving for dollars, a really basic skill. Can you imagine trying to teach a course on driving for dollars? Like, I'm just going to leave it right there. Like, guys, I could teach you driving for dollars in less than 5 minutes. Oh, by the way, you go to freewholesaling.com and the whole thing, like I have an entire video, like I went through it in detail and I show you how to do it. I saw that there's a driving for dollars course. How can that be? Seriously, would you guys pay for a driving for dollars courses? I don't even know who's doing it, but I'm just telling you, it's driving for dollars. You just look for distressed houses. It's not complicated. It really isn't. But it's such simple information, instructions, and how somebody wraps up a price tag to it and sells it in a coaching program. Gee, sounds like somebody got like coached into doing that. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe a $97 product, but like thousands of dollars for driving for dollars. Don't get me started, man. That's ridiculous. And if you guys pay for that, then you're voting with your own money. I just offer more value in that. Driving for dollars is a simple, tiny skill that being taught in 5 minutes. It's not a course. I'm sorry. What's up, Mark? Mark's from Houston. Um, what's up, Russian Escov? I see your comment. Like, so listen, most of these people you guys are commenting on, I'm friends with for full. So here's how I look at it. Like when I'm out and about and I run into people, by the way, I'm not invited to the coach's coaching mastermind for obvious reasons, because number one, none of them want to hear what I have to say. And number two, they're all trying to figure out how to get in your pocketbooks, and they're trying to figure out how to increase their coaching sales. And the few that get it are trying to figure out how to help students more and how to connect with students. But for the most part, the people pitching the coaching courses, they're just going to show you how to generate more revenue. And the problem is you're missing the biggest part of the business. This is, guys, why we have a lot of regulation issues, because we're attracting the wrong type of people to this business. So let's see. Fado says, I don't see a problem with people giving free education because you can't make someone willingly want an education free or not. So this is true. So let me ask you this. If you paid somebody $10,000 or I gave it to you free and they were the exact same course, are you going to tell me the one that paid 10 grand's all in? Give me a break. Like it's the most, this skin in the game is ridiculous. I've coached people for free. I've had people pay me, and I'm just telling you, I get it. The coach gets revenue in their pocket, so they're protected with their time. That's about it. But like this whole thing where, one's better than the other one is just nonsense. So Drew says 90%. Guys, that's not my number. The 90% failure, it's not my number. Go back and look on the videos. It's a recent video, and it's self-proclaimed. And I think he's being brutally honest, and I think that's a conservative number. I think it's 95 to 98%. So it's just the truth. I want to fix it. How do we fix it? Let's start with some free content. I want to find people that really want to take wholesaling to the next level. So instead of me taking a couple $1,000,000 from you, why don't I find like 1,000 people that really want to do this? And then they might come back. They're going to share my videos with everybody. They're going to say, man, like this guy does exactly what he says. His son's all on board. He's unique. And let's just do a deal with him, or let's do this. And that's the movement we're trying to make here. Like everyone's like, what is up your sleeve? I don't have up a sleeve. I'm telling you, I don't have a coaching program. I'm not going to do it. I know you're all waiting for it. It's already there. It's for, if I put $10,000, is it going to make you feel better? It's there. It's free, guys. I owe this industry so much. I really do. Okay. And for the record, again, anybody has a coaching program, God bless them. Like I honestly, if they help change someone's life, I'm all for it. I'm just trying to give you options. You guys have two ways you vote. You vote with your pocketbook and you vote with your time. And I'm looking for your time. So the idea is you trade time for content, and that's great. So Peace Me says, you better preach. So I'm not a preacher. As you guys notice, I believe when it comes to wholesaling real estate is to stick what I'm best at, which is content. I got a million things going on in my life, like all good stuff, but I try to stick to what's important to you, because I'm not going to sit here and preach to you. So I'm only going to preach to you what I'm here for. We're on a wholesaling channel. I'm not going to talk about how much money you need to give to this one or how to do your taxes. All important stuff, don't get me wrong, but so many times people like they're teaching you, let me show you how to do digital currency, and let me show you how to do this and that. Like before you know it, they're the jack of trades. You just told me go deep and go long, but now you're teaching all these other sources. I'm never going to teach you about religion. Do you know the definition of guru? If you look it up, like don't listen to another guru's definition of guru. It's a religious or spiritual leader. So this whole guru thing, I don't even know how it got tied into it. Like nobody in this business should be a religious or spiritual teacher. I think the word guru got in there because we look up so high to these people. And the only piece you need to look up to really is you and your family. And you need to strive to make changes to make that better. And if you're not at your financial goals or you're not at your personal health and fitness goals, get there. Be accountable and get it done. So I'm the least thing of a preacher. I appreciate the comment, but I will give you the truth. I promise you. So who says they want to help out next? That's awesome, man. Let me tell you, if I could get 100,000 people to commit to pay it forward to do what I'm doing in the long run, dude, we would entirely change the business. 100%. Guys, no ads, 100% organic. Like, you got to wonder why all these people run these ads. It's just, it's a money machine. Like, I get it. Like, but I'm telling you, that ship eventually is going to change. We can't, like, I went to college, I tried to get the good job. It failed miserably. Okay. Now, it doesn't fail for everybody, but for the most part, that's not what I want. I want to be on vacation every day. I don't want to go on a vacation once or twice a week. And if you subscribe to that theory, you're in the right place. So why would you follow tired old advice? And that's my thing is the world has changed. The way we're going to connect, especially going forward in the next 5 to 10 years, is going to blow your mind. You're going to laugh when you find someone to go like, yeah, a pay for play for like this type of coaching. It's, let me ask you this. If we're preaching that we don't trade time for money, but then that's the main part of your income, like, I don't understand. You guys got to look through that stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. So, and then if I'm one coach, how many people can I coach? I can't. I got to get students. I got to get staff members. And then that's where, like, well, wait a minute, Rick, I thought you were coaching me one-on-one. Well, no, I can't scale this if I coach you one-on-one. And that's where I struggle. Like, I don't know how you do thousands of people. I love you all. I would love to spend time. There's no way I could get through the day. And it just, so if you got 100 people on a Zoom call and you're rotating 3 or 4 shifts, that just seems, I mean, how long is that going to really last for? You're going to burn, like a lot of coaches I've seen, they just burn out because they want freedom. I got in this business for freedom of time and money, and I got them both. So why am I going to go back and do that? So, Joyce, I'm not the warrior. I need you guys to be the warrior. It's not me. Like, honestly, I'm not here to impress any guru or anything like that. Honestly, I'll never get it. And I know it because it discredits their business model. So if they want to keep traveling and doing seminars and like get these nice featured, you'll never see me on a glassy cover or like an internet thing for like a live event. You know why? Because they can't make any money off of me. So I'm no good to any. The minute a guru can't make money off you, you're dead to them. End of story. That's why I'm not, and I'm okay with it. I have a different business plan. But I know it's probably on when they all say, you're creating enemies, you're creating problems. I'm not. I just don't do it your way. And where are we in a society, if we do things differently, now I'm the enemy? You've got to be kidding me, right? I'm giving stuff away for free. The only thing I'm hurting, if anything, if I'm giving away for free and I'm really bad at this, I'm just going to drive coaching students to you left and right. Do you know if I did a referral program off of coaching, I would make millions right now? And I still pass on it. Why? Why is that? I don't know. Figure it out. I have a bigger plan. Me and Zach have a much bigger plan for everybody involved here. And we need the community to grow as big as possible. I'm looking for like-minded people organically that want to come to our channel and create a following and just help you out as much as I can. So if you guys can click some more likes, we are short on them. And Jason's on here. He says, I'm wholesaling in Central and Gulf Coast, Florida. Could you recommend a title company? I don't know one offhand, but I would try to just use I promise you, there is a local Facebook group for investors around you, and find your local RIA and start there. So Nate asked, how do I get the opportunity to speak with you or Zach one-on-one? So on Wednesday and Thursdays, we do one-on-one lives. We just ask that you get the link off of our Facebook group, which I'll show you where this is. By the way, if you guys haven't checked this out, our Facebook group, I look at stats on this stuff. We are the fastest growing Facebook group in the wholesaling community, and we have the most active members. Active members are measured by the amount of interaction with the members and the total members, and we exceed all of them. So if you go to if you go to our Facebook group where we have a free wholesaling mastermind, wholesaling houses for real, there's a link on there. Check it out on Wednesday, Thursday nights. We just ask that you have to go on. Like we like to share the questions so we can help out as many people as possible. So guys, don't be shy, don't be timid. It's a very, very valuable resource, and the people that like take it on, like they get amazing value from it. So, and then the other way you can do it is you can just, if you have a deal, once you learn how to wholesale and you want to get a contract on there, just go ahead and submit a JV deal with you, and someone on our team will reach out to you and we'll give you feedback right away with it and let you know if we can work together. So those are two perfect ways to work with us. Very good question, Nate. Thank you. Let's go, Rico. So Alex asking if he's got any boots on the ground in Alabama, somebody can help him out. Rogelio is really keeping active tonight. I love it. So I am inspired for everybody that's on this. So I appreciate it. So let's get some good questions here. I'm going to ask, speaking of marketing, what is you and Zach's number one marketing list? In other words, which list brings in the most deals for you? All not necessarily the best ones. So full disclosure, I do a lot of direct mail because I'm really good at it. Like I got it down to a science. And if you guys want to learn how to do direct mail, go to mailingmastery.com. I have some unique techniques we teach in there. It's not really a beginner strategy, for full disclosure. We still rely on driving for dollars. If you believe it or not, I have people who help us out do it. And we love to use off-market lists, water shutoffs, any type of government lists, code violations. And my favorite deals are always going to be probates. They're not big lists, but they are by far the most profitable. So I hope that helps you out with it. So Avado says, your free education will be saving my life. You have no idea. I appreciate you tremendously. So Avado, like, here's the funny thing is my course legitimate if I put a $5,000 price tag on it? Like, I have more experience than most people in the wholesaling industry. Not everybody, and I've done well over 1,000 deals. Like I've lost count. It's so high. And I do deals on a daily basis. Did a deal today, sold another one today. Like it never stops. I love this business, and I'm in a highly saturated market in South Florida. So that being said, guys, I know there's a lot of catches with free. I'm telling you, we are the first people to tell you we do not have a catch. It's absolutely nuts. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Caitlin, just getting started in my home state in FL. We've had like a huge movement of ladies in wholesaling in here, and I absolutely love it. There's not enough ladies in this space, and we need to make more room for them. But like, this is a great place to network with like-minded individuals. So that is awesome. So let's see. I'm gonna try to ask some questions. I'm reading. I'm sorry. Okay, so you guys are talking among yourselves, so I'm not going to comment on that stuff. I don't know. Let's see. I was wondering. Caitlin asked, I was wondering if it's illegal to find a pre-foreclosure homeowner's number and contact them. No, it's not. So unless they're on the do not call registry, a fair game. So Tim asked, what are the pros and cons of a full partnership? So it's, to be honest with you, it's probably better set. You need to talk to a lawyer on the legal ramifications of it. I'm not going to comment on that because by the way, I've done it all. So I'm just going to talk on the philosophical part of it. So a partnership is outside of a family member, which can even be tougher, or a spouse, which obviously you have a partnership to begin with. They're challenging because The problem is when one side doesn't fulfill their obligation, the other side feels like they're doing all the work and the other side's reaping all the rewards. That's when all the problems come in. And once you start tying checking accounts together, assets, deeds, equipment, it gets really messy. And most partnerships, nobody goes to see a lawyer to do the paperwork correctly. So if you're going to do a partnership, make sure you seek legal counsel and you have a preset exit plan. So if someone goes through a nasty divorce or one just wants to quit, you know exactly what the protocol is. If you do not spell this stuff out, you have to sit in court and argue this stuff out, and it's painful, and usually the whole business gets shut down. So um, that's what I would, but just make sure you know who you're getting in bed with when you do that. So Stu asked, what's today's date? Today is February 4th, and it is 6:16 p.m. Does that suffice? That's what's called being authentic and real, because that's what a live is. So at one point, people are like, well, the chat's live, but the video's not live. That's fine. Like, whatever. Just make it known. Don't put the word live on there if it's not live. We all know what live means. It means you're live. Then we have people running endless loops of live. Like, you're not tricking anybody. Like, we got to stop these games in this business. Like, you're not going to get more attention. Let's stop trying to cheat it. Let's just earn customers the good old fashioned way. Let's do what we say, and let's have integrity and ethics when we do it. And listen, I know not every coach is doing that. I know sometimes they got a marketing guy is pushing the channel for them. So my only word is, if you have a guy like that, let him know that it actually hurts you. It doesn't help you in the long run, in my opinion. So you know why? Because everybody does it. They stop doing it because probably YouTube says, you know what, you're being fake here, and they don't like it. So what's up, in Cal? So Jared says, I inherited $300K from my mom's passing. I'm sorry to hear that. I recently just went through the same thing. I want to own houses and rentals. Do you recommend doing my own wholesaling or just have a wholesalers send me deals? So Jared, you've got to become brutally adverse to how wholesaling works. So really the best way you can do it to start off, first of all, don't tell anybody. Well, let me get this off here first. Okay. First of all, go to freewholesaling.com. And number two, I'm going to take this comment off here, because the rule number one is don't tell people you have a lot of money to spend in wholesaling, because I promise you, every coach in the world is going to hit you up and promise you the world. Every wholesaler is going to hit you up and try to sell you the world. So you have to become massively educated on how wholesaling works. Do not spend one dime till you completely understand it. Start at freewholesaling.com. Simple, basic instructions. Just because you have money, you cannot cut to the front of the line and like master wholesaling. You're going to have to put the work in it. So I'm sorry to hear about your mom. And what you want to do is take that 300 grand and you want to grow that nest egg. So I would learn as much as you can about investing with real estate and every other source, and make sure you get reliable information. I only stick to wholesaling, so that's all I'm ever going to advise you on it. Anybody in the coaching business that tries to steer you towards other assets, digital currency, stocks and bonds, run, because most people are really good at one thing, and that's what they teach. So I would love to teach you digital currency, but I'm a student of it myself. I'm not an expert. I'd feel like an idiot trying to tell you how to do it. I'll throw money at it, but I'm not going to tell you how to do it. And just get educated. You'll figure this out. Let's see here, guys. So Betty says, I paid thousands of dollars, not to me or Zach, and it's all sitting in my bookcase, and you and your son are a blessing. So I would love to hear people's comments. What inspired you to buy that course, and why did you not take action? Because I can't fault gurus who do that, but here's the problem. So if I have 10 people buy a course, say it's $5,000, and I know for a fact only one person is going to take action, are we sending a terrible message? Is it such a bait and switch? I don't understand. I can understand maybe 50, 60%, but 90, 95, it doesn't make sense to me. And I want to fix this. Honestly, I would fix this problem before I even touched like regulation of wholesaling. Like, because if we're all making like, so Betty probably bought into like, oh, it's going to be super easy. They're going to hold my hand. They're going to be super accessible. It's going to be one-on-one, and there's no way I can fail. And if Betty, comment, let me know what it is. There was no risk. I never have to spend any of my money, and Betty bought. Maybe Betty wasn't a good candidate because she wasn't told the truth in the marketing. And that's why we have such a high failure rate. Like, let's be honest, like, honestly, I've seen some of the marketing and it just, we're stretching it. I saw a wholesaler the other day selling a course. I'm not going to name, very, very young person. And it was a crazy number. Like, we're going to do, I don't know, it was like $12 million in assignment fees this year. Really? 12 million? And somebody asked him how many deals you need to do. And he didn't have the answer. The reality is you're just throwing numbers up in the air. That's a huge number. It's going to take a huge staff. And the reality in wholesaling is it's what you make net that counts. It doesn't matter your gross. Gross means you can bust your butt and still lose money, by the way. So I like to run small teams, make a lot of money, and have a ton of freedom. So, Betty, I would love to hear what sucked you into pay thousands and why you didn't take action. Because listen, you can't put everything on the teacher, but like 90, 95%, we got to find out what the root of the problem is there. Um, so somebody asked, is Batch Leads best or do you use Jerry's? Here's the truth of it. I don't own a software company. Okay. Jerry does. So he has to recommend one company for obvious reasons. I don't blame him. I don't own the companies. So I'm going to tell you which ones I think are the best. I like PropStream. I like it a lot because they got me off of the list source crack. And if you know what I mean, like we were paying up to 10 to 15 cents per lead. So things change, guys. Are you hearing the message here? When stuff changes, you have to adapt and learn. You can't keep doing this. Nobody uses list source anymore. Nobody uses them. But I used them for 15 years. And I finally switched over because times change. And I want you to understand that's me and Zach's goal here. Stuff has to change as time changes. Technology is amazing. The fact that you and me are even talking right now blows me away. I'm literally talking to like 160 some odd people right now. And I'm sitting in my office. What other venue is going to let you? The old days, we used to have to go rent a hotel room. We had to do all this stuff, and I've spent all this time. The reason I can spend so much time with you guys is because times have changed. I have the ability to connect with you with a click of a button and deliver you real content information and get rid of the fluff. And I do it for free. So, absolutely amazing. So, let's see here. Okay, I'm moving on. Let's see. I'm already keep asking that one. I got it. Okay. What's up, Furman? We appreciate you. Thank you so much. So Don says, I think the problem with wholesaling is getting the numbers correct and actually seeing the deals through. So Don, the whole key with wholesaling is the message in wholesaling has really got lost since 2013, in my opinion. When I learned wholesaling is you bought stuff and you got it under for a really good price and you sold it to another cash buyer and it was like a no-brainer operation. Somehow we fast forwarded to put everything under contract and figure it out later. And that you guys know that's wrong. It's just going to create stress in your life and you're going to get gray hair like me. So wait till your 50s to get the gray hair. Don't do it in your 20s and 30s. And you can't, you just, I hate when people lie to each other. And when you put a property under contract for the wrong price, people start lying. And that's when all the problems happen. And I hate that. I don't know who's teaching that in wholesaling, but it's got to stop. You do not throw everything under contract. You do not throw everything under contract. There is some guessing to it. Like you're never going to get it perfect done. But the reality is you got to write responsible contracts. I heard of somebody, they go, well, I got like a 50% failure rate. Wow. Wow. You want to know why we have regulation? Just like 50%, you're pissing off 50% of the homeowners of what you're doing. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Facebook user. Um, so it's a funny comment. King says, and for the record, he made Zach take the same route. That's a lie. My son does whatever he wants when he wants. So Zach has his own place. He lives on his own. He is his own man. Zach's a very smart young man. He's still my son. Um, and so it says it's up to you to figure out what is you don't know. So I'm not sure about this comment. Just so you know, me and Zach don't always agree on everything. And it's like there's no two people that agree on everything. So I'm a little bit old school. He's a little bit newer school. And that's what makes this channel kind of fun because it's like we like to have a fun, but I don't tell Zach to do. I mean, Zach took on an entire debate. I just stayed out of it. But I'm telling you what, he's a smart kid. He's very, very wise. And he did his homework, and you guys make the decision. I thought he brought some really valid points. And you know, somebody thought they're going to debate a kid. You didn't. You debated a very educated wholesaler. And hopefully it leads to real changes in the business to help fix it. But for the record, I do not tell Zach what to do. Okay. So that's just a poor comment, but I just want you guys to understand that. So Zach has his own house, he has his own life, and we share this business together because we're both very passionate about it. So um, Russian Eskimo says in Hinduism, Buddhism, a spiritual teacher, especially one who imports initiation. It's kind of funny how gurus got tied up into like this whole thing. Because like a guru, it is somebody's spiritual or religion if you're going to like go like on pure definition. So what's up? Roland says he hit his first contract yesterday. That is awesome. Man, that is awesome. I'd love to hear more about it. So keep it going. All right, it is. Brian's filling me in because I was brain fogging earlier. His definition of fear, it's right on there. I agree 100%. So financial freedom, guys. Honestly, at the end of the day, the reason I do wholesaling and why I love it so much, it makes me a free man. It makes me free to have better relationships with my family. I have the ability to choose to work with my son. He's never trust me, Zach will do whatever he wants. You guys know that. So he's truly passionate and loves the business. And for the record, I actually didn't even want him to go into the business. Like, so if you guys have kids, you can connect with me. Is we always want everything to be easy for our kids to a point. So one of the reasons I encouraged Zach to do wrestling, I just felt um, it would help push his limits. Like I believe all human beings should be pushed in a healthy way. We can't all sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day, although it's comfortable. But we have to be pushed. We have to be pushed physically and mentally. And I believe young men should be challenged in a healthy way. Sports is one of the greatest outlets they can do because they get exercise, they learn about teamwork, and they learn about their own physical bodies. Phenomenal. So, um, it's freedom, man. Like the freedom to do whatever you want. I couldn't even put a dollar amount on it for you. And that's all I'm trying to get across from you. So instead of trying to coach a couple thousand people over the years in a painstakingly way with giant Zoom calls, why not just reach everybody I can help? And the ones that really want to run with the information, they're going to get the ultimate gift here. And eventually they're going to pay it forward too. So great question. Great comment. More like that. Um, let's see. Freedom and time and money is the dream. So, guys, you can always get more money. You can never get more time. This 2 hours I'm spending with you, I can't get it back, nor can you. So, the idea is to make the best use of it as humanly possible. And that's what you guys are doing. Uh, so, Chair, it's kind of a long question, but live in Trinidad. Awesome. Have a wholesale company in Miami, and I won't know if to get my realtor's license in Florida to better leverage working with realtors. It's a personal choice. It's definitely not a requirement. So if you want to like work with realtors and hang that up, just understand you have to give full disclosure now on all your marketing, and you got to let everybody know you're a licensed realtor. And that can hurt you in wholesaling. I don't care what anybody says. It can definitely hurt your marketing. So if you have someone that you can work with, but once again, it's personal choice, it's definitely not a requirement. So Giovanna says, what if I can't find comps within a mile? Spread out the radius. And worst case scenario, you can comp it on a cash basis. And how do you do that? Factor in what the rent would get, what the retail of the rent would be, and then you can back the number out from there. Gabriel asks, how do you get the network and build the relationship to connect in your deal? Like, how do you find the agents, inspectors? Dude, you got to go where the people are. So I would start with social media and find out any type of meetings or gatherings. A lot of these events are virtual now, so it's even more accessible. You just got to go where the people are. And the more people you can get one room, the more you can network. And that's where you want to start. Don't try to take it all down in one shot. Just start with the basics. Connect with every social media group. And guys, when you're in any of these Facebook groups or anything like that, like the number one thing we see is, hit me up for your cash buyers. I don't know who's coming up with this comment. It's the fastest way to get you removed from a group. So everybody works hard to get like their lists. They're not just going to hand them over to you. So in our wholesaling houses for real group, which let me put up here because everyone's like, how do I get to it? Let me show you. Wholesaling houses for real, the fastest growing online Facebook group right now is you have to provide content. Like if you're just going to post to take from the group, we don't want you there. I'm sorry, because that's where the feed becomes irrelevant and nobody wants to see that stuff. Nobody likes the spam. I got more people trying to do digital currency on there. Like you're just automatically going to be removed. You're wasting everyone's time. So if you're going to go to a group, make sure you provide value, like try to help other people out. If you constantly take from a group, you'll eventually get banned. It's just a little secret. So real quick before we get into it. So we talk about change, right, guys? Have you guys heard the latest story with Mark Cuban, right? He's taking on big pharmacy. Oh boy, like that's big. You guys know how ridiculously muddied up the pharmaceutical business is. So let me see if I can share this. Let me see. Let's see. I don't. Oh, here it is. Okay, so billionaire Mark Cuban's discounted pharmacy has launched to bypass the middleman of outrageous markups. That's a brilliant idea. He's tired of the pharmaceutical companies jacking up the price so ridiculous when a lot of these drugs you can go to another country and get them almost not free, but a much lower. So he just marked them up 15%. So he created an entire business model on it. The reason I show you guys this is, how do I stop? It's change. Things change, man. Like the pharmaceutical business, like no one can ever touch our model. I promise you, that boy Mark is going to rock that entire business model. So a lot of folks, don't worry about him. He'll go away. He ain't going away, man. I'm just telling you, people are going to have options. And the main thing is he didn't commit to the insurance companies. Once you sign an agreement to use insurance companies, you have rules. And once you have rules, you have to follow them. Okay. This is why you guys don't see me doing a lot of videos with gurus. Honestly, I don't even care. I'll go on anyone's show. Everybody knows that. It's just, if they can't make money off me, why have me on, right? And that's why not just share information? Like what happened to being authentic and share? I have a ton of information on wholesaling and I'm willing to help out anybody. But the minute I can't go on a stage or do something, like I don't want to be fake on a stage. I'll go speak at any event, but I'm going to tell the truth. I love this business. I talk about flipping wholesale deals all day long. We'll talk about anything that has to do with like real estate related. But at the end of the day, I don't have a program where I can give you 50% of my revenue. And for that, if that makes me the enemy, the guy that you're going to close the door on me, man, I don't care. I really don't care. But If Mark Cuban's all about making change, why can't we make change in the wholesaling education space? And here's the really cool thing. The change is for you guys. It makes you more powerful. It gives you a much louder voice, and it's going to give you a million options. So of course, people are going to say, people that are coaches like, well, Rick, you're kind of screwing things up. I know, but I'm not screwing up. Why don't you find a way to give more back to your subscribers and help them out? And with that, amazing things can happen. So let me see here. What did I do here? Okay, back to the comments. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Antonio says, can you lock up a property under contract with the seller even if they have an upcoming auction date in a month or so? So here's the reality of it, Antonio. The closer it gets to the auction date, the harder it is. The homeowner is going to have to take a legal action to stage off the auction. The truth of the matter, Antonio, is the seller has waited to the last minute and now they want you to bail them out, and there's only so much you can do. So typically you have to bring in a lawyer at this point, and typically you want the homeowner to initiate it. Um, and a lot of them have to file even like a bankruptcy movement. I would not advise you to have the homeowner do that, but they're going to have to seek legal counsel to stall it because, and I don't want you paying for a lawyer because it's too late in the game, and it's 50-50 at best. So whenever a house is up for auction within 30 days, homeowners get extremely motivated. But the problem is a lot of them have waited a year up to this point, and it creates problems. So what I would do, talk to the homeowner, see if they have an attorney, and they're going to have to do some sort of legal maneuver to stall the auction date. Or if you have a contract, but remember, you guys submit the contract to the court. So a lot of wholesaling contracts are kind of frowned upon in front of a judge, especially on an auction. So listen, once they get within like 3 or 4 weeks of the auction date, they're hard. I'm just going to tell you. And the crazy thing is you're like, man, but the owner's so motivated. Of course they're motivated. Now they're really going to lose the house. They should have been doing something like a year or 6 months ago, but try to help them out, but do not spend your own money because it's extremely risky at this point. So hopefully that helps you out. So Matt says, since you can't run comps on PropStream, would it be best to only use batch? So just so you know, neither services gets MLS data. So this whole like battle, like one's better than the other, you're typically going to be steered on it. So I got to tell you guys, getting comps has never been easier in today's world than ever. Trulia, Zillow, all this stuff. And a lot of them give you estimated comps, and they're just using an algorithm of all those services I just told you. So like I like to go to one place and be done with it. Whichever one works for you, you can use either listrei.com or use the ZAC code and batch, and either one will work just fine for you. So Matt, like, guys, I never spend a lot of energy on comps. Like I want to get stuff cheap. And if you're spending a ton of time on comps, you got to kind of wonder what your effort's being spent on. I'm just like a good wholesaler, like when you got a good deal. If it gets too tight, you start squeezing. If you start trying to make the numbers work in wholesaling, you're going to get in trouble fast. So that's just my suggestion to you. Let's see. Here's Chris, another foreclosure question. So I'm currently under contract on a property with a foreclosure sale date in 2 weeks, and the property has just started probate. Does this seller need a probate attorney to get the appointed fiduciary? So it depends on what state you're in, Chris. The fact that it's in foreclosure and it just started the probate means somebody had to initiate the probate. Probates just don't happen. You actually have to pay court fees and get them opened up. So what I would do is the attorney that's opened the probate, number one, you're already under contract. Number two, you need to have that attorney petition the court to push back that sale date. Now, just so you guys know, you do not have to wait till probate's done to actually buy the property. That's a ridiculous myth. So a property can be sold in probate. It doesn't close the probate out. It just closes that asset out. So I would get with that attorney and see what you can do to buy the property. And I would get a buyer lined up really, really fast. So you're going to have to involve an attorney. 2 weeks is brutally tight. 2 weeks is, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you're definitely going to have an attorney. So I'd use the probate attorney. So Facebook user says, I know your bread and butter is wholesaling. You got that right. Do you put any focus on holding rentals? Yes. I have a lot of rentals. I just don't talk about them because they're not sexy. They pay me every month, and they are not passive though. Like, we are actively engaged with property managers and everything. So it's a lot of work. I used to have a ton of rentals, and I decided that was not going to be my method of operation. But I always keep a bunch around, and we're constantly buying and selling them. Some work out, some wind up being crap. Like, that's just the word for it. And you make decisions and move on. Um, so I don't go into detail about like how I hold my entire portfolio because it's complicated. And honestly, I try to stick to the basics with you guys. It's much more of a advanced conversation. So wholesaling is the ticket to get you guys freedom. And then after that, you can do whatever you want. You want to concentrate on rentals. You want to do fix and flip. You want to do Airbnb. But understanding those are all like different industries in themselves. So wholesaling will get you there. What you want to do from there is 100% your choice. And if I was ever going to hire a coach, it would be after I mastered wholesaling, and then you can decide to dive in and do that. So a lot of people are like, well, Rick, I want to figure out creative financing. That's great. I figured out creative financing through wholesaling, but if I started out doing creative financing and then tried to figure out wholesaling, it would probably wreck me. Like it. Now, that's just me. That you might be different, but creative financing is a technique, and the first skill you have to absorb to be successful creative financing is how to find deals. There's this theory, people think you walk down the street and find 10 creative financing deals. You do have to find the right type of motivated seller to get a financing deal. You just don't want to take over someone's mortgage if the terms are like really bad. You need to find great opportunities and try to help people out when you do it. Nami says, what is your favorite website to find vacant homeowners? That one's kind of easy for me. So we use what we use in our business. And I like this because I can just go with what I know it works. My favorite one is through listrei.com, which is PropStream. So no diss on like Batch. I just find it a little bit, I find theirs to be most reliable. So I'm just telling you how I call them like I see them. Remember, I'm not owned by any of these companies, and I'm going to give you guys choices. We've gone through and reviewed every one of them in detail, and we actually train you on how to use these different platforms. But do you ever wonder why like one coach will pick, like they live and die by like a certain software? Well, I don't know, man. Like software companies, sometimes they come and go. They got to be bought and sold, and I just want to make sure they deliver the most value for any of our subscribers that use it. I use it. We pay for it just like you do. So like I hate to use the word skin in the game, so to speak. I don't get this stuff for free. I actually have to pay for it. So I get to try it out. And I promise you, when we have an issue and stuff, we call them. So let's see here. A combination of wanting something. Oh, here's Alec. He's talking about FOMO, the fear of missing out. So like somehow like this isn't wholesaling specific, but like there's always the latest, greatest shiny object. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go through your Instagram or your Facebook feed, and like every other one's sponsored, and they all have a brilliant way to like fix everything in your life. You got to admit it sometime. Like if you're so good at like what you do, why are you running like these mini ads? Why don't you just like the whole thing with like, I don't understand. Like I've seen a huge thing in wholesale coaching, whereas they go from wholesaling, they go, I don't like it, but I made a bunch of money in it. Well, listen, don't be a fool. If something fed your family and made you a lot of money, why would you go away from it? I don't understand that. Either you're so uncomfortable in your skin, or you're doing like I don't get it. Like, why would you leave? I see some people, I want to get out of wholesaling as fast as you can. Get out now. We don't want you here if that's your mentality. I see a lot of wholesalers that do it through 3 or 4 years and they just go on to other things. I promise you, there's nothing better than wholesaling. You can still run your wholesaling business, just bring people in to run it. I don't understand that. Why would you go into all these other avenues if that found? So what am I talking about? uh, what do you guys call it? Amazon, FBA, FBO, whatever it is, direction. Everybody sold that out of wholesaling. Oh, I got the latest, greatest ways to make a ton of money. I just saw a post the other day. Give me, I think it was like 25K or something like that. And I'll show you, I'll set up the store for you and we'll split the profits. You got to be kidding me, right? And the margins on them are like between 10 and like 12%. Guys, come on. Like, seriously. Like, you're really good at wholesale, stick to wholesaling. Like, if you're good at real estate, stick to it. But please don't. So we go from wholesaling to FBO. And then, like, the latest, greatest one is like there's a lot of financial services. I'm not even going to mention it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, seriously, if it was that easy to day trade, we'd all be sitting around in our underwear doing nothing. Like, all you hear is the upside of that business. It's just as bad, if not worse, than wholesaling, in my opinion. And you just click this button, and when the arrow goes down, you sell, and when it goes up, or opposite, or goes up, you buy, or vice versa. You got to be kidding me. If it was that easy, we'd all be like billionaires by now. It's just, there's no way that happens that way. And that's good if you can make small, but listen, you cannot time the market. You can't time it in real estate. You can't time it in stocks, and you definitely can't time it exchanging currencies, because you can predict it to a point, but like they say in what's it in Vegas when you're what's the wheel that you spin there, the roulette wheel. Like, a lot of people look at the history of, like, I got 4 blacks here. I know red's going to come back, and it influenced your decision until the gal grabs the ball and spins it the other way, right? You're like, oh my God, you just screwed me up. So it's all automated now, but it's like we all like looking for patterns. We don't have all the answers. Like, I thought the opposite would happen in real estate when this thing hit, and I was dead wrong on it. At least I came out and said, "Listen, I was wrong, man. I missed it." So so here's David. What's up, David? David says, I've been in acquisitions now for a year for a wholesaling company, which has changed my life and introduced me to wholesaling. Now, that's a great way to learn wholesaling, guys. If you can go work for a business, even do it like as an intern, and learn the business, learn how they operate, spend time in their office or wherever they operate. And he really wants to take the leap and become an entrepreneur for myself thoughts. 100%, David. I had 16, 17-year-old kids doing it. You're a bright guy. So either find an alliance. Listen, that company helped you get where you are. So be loyal to a point, meaning try to find if there's an opportunity for you to work in there. I'm not saying become like a partner, but a better compensation plan or something like that. And if they're not looking at that vision, give them enough time so they can replace you. Maybe you help replace the replacement. And guys, like, take care of the people that took care. I'm a huge loyalty person. Like, if they help you become, and like, you've learned a lot, David. So the rest of it, just go to freewholesaling.com, because you already know most of the stuff, and you've already see how the operations go from marketing to finish. And then take that extra time to fill in all the gaps that you haven't really been paying attention on. Like, maybe you have a transaction coordinator, spend a little time with them. But David, that's how it always happens. My goal is, if you guys do a JV deal with me, is not to make you dependent on me. I'd rather teach you how to fish than to sit there and bring you to the market every day. I don't want to do that. Like, it's selfish move. It's very selfish to do that stuff with. So if you guys want to partner up with us, it's scrolling on the bottom screen. You know how to do it. I love working with people. Why not get paid while you actually do a deal with us? It's the ultimate learn and earn type of deal. So Dylan says, I appreciate the value. Thank you. How many leads per day do you expect to generate for each of your cold callers? Now, here's the problem, Dylan. It's a very general question. And I don't even, like, Zach deals with all the cold callings that we do. It's going to be very different. Like, how many leads per day? We've had extremely efficient cold callers that they could do thousands in a day, and I've seen some struggle with like 250. So the problem is what kind of system you have set up, how many cold callers, and who's doing the KPIs and who's managing the team. A lot of that will point you in the right direction. Also, the type of dialer you use. So you're going to have to give a little bit more specific information. Um, and the reality is the answer is going to be different depending on how experienced you are and what market you do. So Lou asks, hey, Rick, can you talk more about creative financing? Sure. Um, I love creative financing. To me, it's the ultimate way to take down a property without dealing with a bank. And it happens all the time. Creative financing is just the absence of using a bank or using your own personal cash for everything. I strongly believe all creative financing deals should stand on their own legs, and they should cash flow from day one. So a lot of people overlook, well, Rick, I put down $30,000. Well, that's not called cash flow. That's an expense. Now, if you're experienced and you have the funds to do it and you know what you're doing, knock yourself out. I'm all for it. I do that too. When I started out doing creative financing, here's how I did it. And this is my rule, and not everybody agrees with me, but I don't care. It never got me in any trouble. If I'm taking over a house subject to, I establish what the rents are. I make sure there's way in excess cash flow, usually $400 plus. So if the mortgage was $800 and that included everything, and then my rents were $1,200, I was comfortable doing that deal because I could afford to miss a month or two and be able to cover the nut on it. And so when it comes to the downstroke is how much money I gave to that seller and how much I got from my new buyer. I always made the buyer fund the seller. So I want to be positive. So if I'm giving the seller, say, $10,000, I'm trying to get $20,000 from my seller because that's basically my so-called assignment fee. I get $10,000 there, $400 positive cash flow. It gives me some room, and hopefully the market appreciates. Hopefully the mortgage is like halfway paid down and most of the money is going to principal. And then when I go to sell it, I get a nice exit price and I got a nice chunk of the change. That way you get paid at all 3 points. A lot of people are putting down big giant down payments and they're not getting it from their buyer, but they're cash flowing. But if I had to do that in a financial formula, so the one thing I got from school is I got a finance degree, that would be a negative cash flow. Like, end of story, because you have to account for the difference in the cash that you put down. So I like to see people that are new go on a positive cash flow. It gives them a very good feeling. They know what they're doing and they can't get hurt in that deal. If you've never done a creative financing deal and you're going to put 30,000 down and you're only getting 10 grand from your new buyer, that means you're 20,000 in the hole. Like, how many deals can you do like that if you just started out? And that's my challenge with it. Yes, you can raise private money and all that stuff, but if you're just getting started in the business, then like that's a whole nother level you got to learn. And I find it to get overwhelming. I like simple creative financing deals. The more complicated you make it, the more problems can happen. And I see a lot of deals where people are partnering up with homeowners. They're never taking ownership. They're signing powers of attorneys. They're signing liens. Guys, this is some advanced stuff. And I rather you learn wholesaling and get the basic fundamentals of finding really good deals. And when a creative deal pops up, make it work. When I did my first few creative deals, I reached out to somebody and I partnered up with them to help me out because I honestly I just didn't understand it, and nobody was really there. There's always been courses around. Creative financing's been around for. I love it, guys. I really love it. I just think it needs to be done responsible. There's a few people that teach it well. There's some people that have no idea what they're doing. So heed the warning. But like, learn your basics down. If you're starting right off the bat with creative financing strategy, you got to ask a lot of questions. Are you doing it because you think wholesaling is too tough? That's not why you do creative financing. It should not be your checklist to do it. If you have a love for doing creative financing and you like get a lot of leads like that, that's great. Get the training, figure it out. I'm all for it. But if you're doing it because you think wholesaling is too hard, you're just climbing up another hard ladder, and maybe you need to look at the marketing of how that deal is being put across to you. So I love creative financing. I didn't start out doing creative financing because I didn't completely understand it. I find my favorite deal is finding a good wholesale deal that's got a creative financing opportunity, because that is golden. And I love probates. If you can target on probates and wholesaling, you can do monster creative financing deals because dead people they're okay assigning the mortgage over. Like the family just most of the time they don't care at all. So plus you don't have to go get private money and it's all built in there for you. So um okay. So here's a good one. School me. I like that. So hey Rick, how big is your operation? It's that big. And what are the roles? So um I run basically a 4-person operation. That's it, guys. Like I've done massive operations. I had 22, 25 people at one point, and I had a realization that I was running around with my head cut off. We were having so many meetings. I had to have a meeting to have a meeting, and I just got tired of doing meetings endlessly. I had a full-fledged office, and we did that for 4 years. And at the end of the day, I lost my freedom, and I just said I'm never doing that again. So, um, if I was in my early 20s and like I wanted to run with it, like, and you want to take that risk, go for it. But I always remind myself why I got in this business. It is for freedom. And if I have to sit chained to a desk and manage a dozen employees at a time, it just becomes like, so, okay, that's right. Then you can hire a general manager, you can hire a sales manager, and it just all starts to add up. And at the end of the day, I think the most you could bring it in was like we're in like 7.5 million in fees. But I'm telling you, man, the cost to run that operation is staggering. So, like, how much money are you really going to make if it costs you 5.5 to run it, and you got business partners? All like, how much money are you making and how much freedom of time? So, like right now, I get up in the morning, I work on anything positive. So I don't look at the news. I look at videos that inspire me, people that I want to be like, people I think that are amazing. And then I usually get a cup of coffee, go work out, and put on my headphones, listen to another podcast while I work out, push myself to a ridiculous limit. And then I go back, I come to work. And then, guys, I'll be honest with you, I like to hop in the boat. I like to take a run. I like to go fishing. I like to walk downtown, do whatever I want to do. And then towards the end of the day, then I'm meeting with Zach, and he updates me on all the projects we got going, what we're doing here with you guys, and we just have a lot of fun. Like I really enjoy doing this channel. Like it's not work for me. Like I could probably go 5 hours, 100% live. I just my voice probably not make it, but like, and so my wife works in our operation. She helps out with transaction coordination and dispo. We have somebody else helps up with that, and then we have a lot of VAs, and then I've got one other person that helps us out with our operations. So lean, mean operations. That's how, because at the end of the day is what you take home and how much time you have. And I find with a lean, mean operation, it just like we do wholesaling to fit our lifestyles. I don't do it the other way. I tried it the other way. It didn't work. So just because this works for me, it doesn't mean I have to work for you, but I have the freedom to do whatever I want. I've taken off 6 months of wholesaling before and it still runs smoothly. So to be honest with you, if you had to sit with me every day, you'd be bored because like I go fishing, I like to have fun. I commute a lot in the boat, like because I picked the lifestyle. I love the water, I love the ocean, so that's where I'm at, and that's what I love to do. And working with my family has been the biggest blessing I could ever ask for in wholesaling, and only wholesaling was going to allow me to do this. So I hope that helps. So going to the speed round here. So Dylan's back up. He says, I met another wholesaler here on the Flip with Rick live a few weeks ago. So if you guys met Dylan, extremely persistent. He got the message of persistence. Like he got it. Spent an hour helping her today, getting over many obstacles and help her face early on. Pay it forward. Thanks to Rick for giving. And obviously Zach. So guys, that like, this is it. Like this is payment enough for me. Here's your payment. Somebody hit that like button one more time because I am like short on 5 likes here. Hit that subscribe button. Share this with as many people as possible. And I want you to understand at the end of the day, you guys have the decision. You have the decision, nobody else, on who you're going to spend your time with and how you're going to spend your money. You got to worry about money here. I ain't taking your money. I do want your time. I want to help you guys out as much as humanly possible. I am one of these crazy, crazy, crazy wholesale guys that wants change for a positive. Because I'm going against the grain in the coaching community does not make me the enemy. It makes me the person like, maybe the better question is like, what is he doing and how can we help the movement? And I'm not taking if I'm taking your clients away from you, that's on you. It's not on me. If anything, if I'm not doing a good job, I'm just going to drive more clients to you. So I guess secretly hoping like I fail at what might work. But I'm just telling you, I want change in this business. And it's up to each and every one of us to decide how you want to spend your time. So the world's changing rapidly. Do you want to spend your time with authentic people that really care about this business? That's not on this big, I'm not on the coach take. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not trading all my time for money. I don't do that. I did that in the business for a long time, and I found my happiness was in freedom. And by me reaching out and helping out as many people as possible, I'm doing it. I've been told that you're gonna attract toxicity and stuff like that. Honestly, for the most part, everybody on here is super positive. That's fine. Call me the anti-guru. Go after me. I don't care. I know you need an enemy to go after. Honestly, if you just open up your mind, like first of all, I'm a 100% legit wholesaler. This is what I do. Like, I love doing this. And if I did nothing else, I'm more than taking care of the rest of my life and my family. But the fact is, do you want to leave a legacy in life? I don't want to leave a coaching legacy. Like, what's the point? Like, how many people can you actually help coaching? What if I could touch 500,000 people with episodes like this and say, hey, listen, I'm going to show you how to get started in this business. I'm going to strip away all the secrets and I'm going to show you them like 100 grand quickly. And then you decide who you want to work with going forward. Man, if we just cut to the chase and help people out, I'm all for it. Listen, if you want to pay for it, you think that cuts you to line, go for it. I don't care. Whatever gets you to the promised land. But call me the anti like guru. I don't care. Like the guru is just a poor choice of words to begin with. But it's been denoted, so that's what we all kind of know. So I guess that's what we'll stick to it. So hit that like button. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's take another question here. Somebody says, have you tried Upwork? Upwork's good. They're getting a little expensive because they take fees out of the VAs. But for like, if you don't want to manage like payment and time clock and stuff like that, Upwork's the best way to hire a VA if you're new to it. So let's see here. Lou says, don't overthink comping. I'm telling you, like comping is like, I've never seen so many tools to comp. It's like crazy. School me. The answer to this question is yes. Absolutely. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Like you think 2 hours is like forever to do it, but it's like not. So, guys, let's see here. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Where is it? Okay. We only listen to you. Okay. I will take all the heat from everybody in the business says you're doing it wrong. You can't do this too long. You're screwing things up. I don't care. They're not like, I'm not here to appease other people in the business. Honestly, I'm just trying to help the business out. If you think offering free information is hurting your business, you have to reestablish how you're doing business. I don't care what you say. Is it not going to work? Well, at the end of the day, you guys are going to make that decision. You tell them, you decide who you want to work with. So how do we know that? The more people subscribe, the more you share the channel, the more likes you hit, the more people I can impact. And the more people I can impact, the more people that will pay it forward and help people just like you or people that are coming in your seats behind you. And you know what? If you like the whole family connection and like just me and Zach's just drama of just, father son stuff, we got to have fun with what we're doing in this business. You guys, everybody takes herself way too seriously. This business is fun. I just think we just need to be truthful and authentic. And I'm hoping that comes across with you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future on all these broadcasts. If you guys like working with Zach, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next Friday in the next video. Guys, I appreciate all your time. You have a wonderful weekend and go wholesale a house now. I appreciate